everybody. This is Johanna in the house craft video. I haven't made a video like this before. I usually just do time lapses of my paintings, but I am gonna attempt something new and I thought I'd share it with you guys. I am in day 6 of quarantine. I normally work at an art studio, but right now we are closed. So it's been giving me lots of opportunity to, if you can hear that, that's my little brother upstairs. I'm in my room right now because this is the only place I am having some peace and quiet from my whole family that's home. There's 6 of us here. So yeah, anyway, that's why I'm working on some crafts that I haven't tried yet. Instead of painting, I'll be starting some painting later this week. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm making a rainbow wall art for my bestie that is pregnant. It's going to be super cute, some pastel rainbow. This is the colors. And all the supplies you need are some rope, yarn, painter's tape is kind of optional, a hot glue gun for later to glue them together, or we can sew them. We'll see. I'm probably going to use the hot glue gun, but if it doesn't work, I'll sew it. Some scissors will be helpful. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll show you guys a photo of what it's going to look like, so you can see if you want to keep watching. As for the colors go, I picked out colors that I know I love and I know that my friend loves. They can be any colors that you want for these rainbows. It does not have to be rainbow colors. I'm organizing mine in red, orange, yellow, blue. I'm skipping green and purple, but that's just kind of the color choice I wanted. I realized for you guys it's backwards. I'm going to be starting with the red. The yarn that I'm using is called a yarn bee. I'll show you guys. It's flipped backwards, but it's yarn bee. I got this rope from Hobby Lobby. I took the last of it, but I'm sure there's more now. And they can cut whatever length that you want. I haven't measured it. I just kind of eyeballed it on size because the size can be whatever you want it. But yeah, let's get started. So the first step is going to be to size out your rope. So I'm going to put the yarn aside. I'm going to start with the center piece of it. I'm not really sure how big I want it yet. So this is taped here to keep it from fraying. That's why I'm going to use painter's tape to tape off the ends once I cut them so that they don't fray, but in the end we want them to be frayed. We just want it to be tied off first. So I think my inside loop is going to be maybe about this big. So then what you do is you just wrap it, and it kind of depends how many layers you want. I might have extra. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors, so I'm going to have 5 arcs, and each one gets a little bit bigger, so you just kind of like wind it back like that. Okay. Oh, it's looking like a cute size. This is, I think, a good size for her nursery. It'll be really cute on the wall. Or just hanging anywhere. You can be on a shelf, in the crib. So then you have to also keep in mind how much fringe you want on the bottom. So right now, if I did this, it would be about this much of, maybe about like this much of rainbow and the bottom part fringe. So I think I actually want a little bit bigger pieces. So what I'm going to do is actually go back and make the middle arc a little bit bigger because I forgot about the fringe part. I want it to be a decent amount of fringe. And I'm using this painter's tape, which is pretty thick. That's kind of the size of it. And we're gonna cut off. It's happening, I'm cutting it. Oh wow. You gotta get really good scissors. Okay. So I cut that one, and then you cut the middle. So now I've cut them, and I'm gonna tape. So I have extra. I might make some more later on. So now I'm gonna use my tape, and you don't need very much. And I'm gonna take the smallest one, and I'm just gonna line the tape up on the bottom. So that will kind of hold it, and that will give us a good marking for where we're gonna start wrapping it. And you're just gonna tape both ends. So each of my sections have tape on them now. I'm lining them all up to make sure that the tape will line up with each other, because that's going to create an even end where you start and end your wrapping. You know, they look pretty even. I think I'm gonna go for it. So I'm gonna start with the inner one, the little one, which is gonna be my darkest color, which is this beautiful blue. And I'm really excited for this part. You're gonna start by tying a knot. Right at the tape. I'm gonna pull it tight, and then I'm gonna tie it in a knot again here. Well, finish the knot. And then you're gonna take the tail and just we'll cut it a little bit, and we're gonna wrap it, wrap the tail in with it. And you just want to make a really even wrap by, this is my makeshift craft room, so we're making it work. So we're gonna just wrap it like this. And you just want to make sure that none of the white is showing. So just line it as tight as you can. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna snip it, give it a little extra so you have room to tie. And I'm gonna tie a little knot like this. Kind of see what I'm doing here. And honestly, that should be enough to hold it. You're gonna want to kind of tuck this, and then when we attach them together, this string will be on the inside, so it won't matter. Leave it for now. So that. But yeah, this is what it will look like. Cute little inside piece. It's bigger than I thought. I definitely was imagining it smaller, so I'm excited to see how big it turns out in the end. So for this next bit, I'm just going to be wrapping the yarn around, so I'm going to make a little time lapse of it. So on to the next step. Alright, so one thing I wanted to mention was I did use different sizes of yarn. The first one, I used this really thick, beautiful yarn. It just looks luscious in my mind. And then I chose to do a thinner one. And I basically picked the yarn off of the color, and I knew that a variation in texture would actually look really cool, and give it some variety. So a couple of them are like this. I have a medium one, and this one's like more fuzzy. So yeah, there's a couple different kinds, and I just want to show you guys another technique with the thinner yarn, which I could have done this with the thicker yarn too, but I didn't think about it until now. But you can see here that there's some gaps along the way. What I've been doing is I'm just pushing them together and it kind of makes it super condensed. And it looks like a different material even when it's like pushed all the way together, which I think looks really cool. So I've just been sliding it down, which it's gonna take longer to do this, and it's totally up to you. But I think it looks really like cohesive when it's really tight. And it will hold the structure of the rope better too. There we go. So I still have a lot more to wrap. But yeah, I'll be wrapping them and I'll show you guys the next step soon. Alright everybody, so I spent lots of time wrapping my rope. I have my 5 final pieces now. They look really good. I love the colors together. It's kind of relaxing to wrap it. I found out like wrapping and then squishing it together gave it a really nice structure. So now I'm gonna untape the ends here. So just to see kind of how it all will line up. I'm not gonna fully try to unravel it, although it looks like it's kind of unraveling. So we'll see. Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that fluff. So looks like that's gonna be yeah, part of the process right now. So that's the first 2, and it's okay if they're a little uneven. The most important part is we're gonna try to make sure that they line up with the other bases before we hot glue them. During the time lapse, my fiance popped in the room. He's working from home, and he wanted to see what I've been up to for a few hours. Now I have all of those unraveled. I'm gonna kind of place it on my surface, and I got fuzzies in my mouth. Starting with maybe the inner one, and I think a little bit of imperfection is okay because it's handmade. So now I have them all in place of how I like them. This is how they are. They line up pretty good. Yeah. So next step is to hot glue. What I'm doing first while it's heating up is I'm looking and making sure that the ends are where it's going to be glued. So I'm kind of sliding this over to the inside here. This one I hid really well, but I'm moving this onto the inside, so I'm going to glue the other blue piece on it. So then I'm going to look at this one and I'll move these. It really is most important for the inside and the outside one. The other ones it's not as important, but you want to be aware of them. I'm going to try gluing them in 3 different points on each of the ends and the top to kind of keep the shape. When I was wrapping them, I held them in this shape, so I feel like they're holding the shape really well. So I think my hot glue gun is ready. Testing it out. This is an industrial glue gun, very hot. Sometimes it steams, from my grandparents. So thank you, Grandma and Grandpa. With a glue gun, you want to be wary of the little strings it creates because that doesn't always look good. So I'm just going to take these 2 ends and I'm going to kind of push them together like this. And I'm going to hold it a little bit because it's just good to like keep the shape of it. And we can kind of trim those little glue gun strings later on. Okay, that seems somewhat secure. So now I'm going to be really careful with this part. And I'm just going to glue the inside there. And I'm going to stick it on. Make sure it lines up all right. I could glue the whole thing. I saw one on how to like sew them together and it didn't look too hard. So if you're the kind of person that's kind of not really into glue guns, or you don't have one, you could just take a needle and put it through each of the layers. But I was like, hey, a glue gun makes it a little bit easier on me. And I'm kind of trying to do the glue gun on the back side. It doesn't really have to have a front or a back, but I kind of try to put it on the camera side a little bit so that if it dries and you see a little bit of it, it's not super noticeable. So then I'm gonna kind of form it a little bit more, because as we glue the next pieces, we're gonna want to really shape it to this one. Try to really form that arc while you're holding it together, because I think it's going to help it stay in place. I definitely have got some yarn on my face. Some of the fuzzies. See, this is what it would look like if you just did 3, and you could do this really small, and it'd be really cute that way too. There are fuzzies flying everywhere. Hot glue guns are easy, but still messy. Okay, yeah, it feels really sturdy. I definitely don't think that the specific rope I chose, I don't think it really needs wire, which was one of the things I saw online. And my pink one ended up being a little bit short, so I just want to make sure I line it up pretty good on both sides. The hot glue gun has the potential to burn the thread too, like this one gets really hot, so just be wary of that. It's looking like a cute little rainbow. Unravel the fringe. So my fringe unraveled really easy with the tape, but there are these like little strings that were like holding the rope together. So I'm just gonna kind of play with them. I'm kind of like de-shedding them right now. Mine is shedding like crazy. It must just be the kind of rope I chose. So that's something good to be aware of when you're shopping for it. I'm gonna go ahead and snip it to be the same length, but then I'm gonna cut it to be even. This stuff is literally going everywhere. That's not really how I imagined it going, so I would say that this is a definitely interesting part of the experiment. Like, it's just shedding and shedding, and it's getting everywhere. Okay, so yeah, you can just cut the ends. Oh, that's attached there. You can cut the ends how you want. Okay, the sun is going down and I'm finally done. I decided to, don't worry, I unplugged my hot glue gun. I decided to flat iron the ends of this and then go through and even up the lines. It's definitely a finicky process, but I think I need to step away and look at the ends later because they are just wild. But this is my little rainbow, and I hope that you have fun crafting your own, and let me know how it turns out, and if you have any suggestions or any comments or anything like that, please feel free to comment below. There it is.